Hello, I'm Jessica Newsome. I serve on the praise and worship team at City Church.
And my name is Stephen Newsome, and I serve at City Kids at City Church. We met in Cincinnati, Ohio, at work. I am in the food service industry, and you were temping. You were a temp there as a housekeeper. Yeah, and we just ran into each other in the hallway one day. She's a very beautiful young woman, so I asked her out for a date, and that kind of started our story. And 12 years later, here we are. We've got four boys. Stephen the second, who's 11, James, who's 7, Marvin is 6 now, and John, who is 4. We take a lot of time with them. They take up a lot of our days, but they're at the front of a lot of the decisions that we make, which is part of the reason we ended up at City Church and going to City Kids.
It was a major goal to find a church when we got here. So we had been looking back home and we found several, and they were okay, but there were like issues amongst like the top members and stuff. So that left a bad taste in our mouth. And so for a while, we just kind of used church for a safe place for our kids to go to daycare. So that being a goal here, honestly, we Googled the closest church, but we didn't really see anything that we like. I'm pretty sure we went out to eat. When we were on our way home, we actually saw the City Church signs, and we're like,
yeah, the sandwich boards.
Okay, well, let's Google that. And so we looked up what time church started, and we went. And like I was telling him, our youngest son, John, who's 4, he's nonverbal sometimes. I mean, he's way better now. I just always have concerns putting him somewhere with people new and not knowing how they will react to him. And so we were worried, honestly, when we left, and then would the move make it worse? Would it make it better? Will we be able to find the people that were working with him back home care as much as they do here? And it's not the biggest deal, but when you're not talking, everyone's concerned. The school's concerned, the doctor's concerned. And so now the parents are concerned. And so you don't see it when you have so many kids, you're not really thinking about it. And so you start blaming yourself, like, did I not do enough? What's going on? And then after putting him in that safe place, they acted like it wasn't a problem at all. You've probably met Sadie, Ray, and Katie. They're absolutely amazing. So because kids are kids, even when something was wrong, just communication. What can we do better? How can we help you? How can we help the child? So, and I just really appreciated that.
I mean, that's really genuine, because we were apprehensive. When you have a special needs child, that is a big deal, to be able to have a place where they can go and they can be taken care of, and you don't have to worry about somebody not being kind to them. It was really refreshing to see that they embraced him and they embraced every part of him. And it was okay that he wasn't speaking. They could still talk to him and teach him about Jesus, and he could still take in some of that love, the love that was being shown to him in City Kids.
After putting him in that safe place and, getting stronger with God and having more, what do I want to call it? Faith, honestly. We left it to God, like you said, we prayed about it, and I speak over him before he goes to sleep, just to speak when it is time for him to speak. And sometimes he's spoken right then, which is miraculous. And then now he's just singing songs at church, and it's crazy because they saw it before me, I had no idea he was singing in church. So it's God, honestly.
He started to grow even before he got to school, and it was from that safe, positive environment. Because other than that, when we first got here, we were at home or we were at church. We didn't go out into the community a whole lot. We were just kind of feeling our way around, getting to know surprise like people do when they move to a new town. And so most of our social interaction was what we got at church. And the people that were there were so kind and welcoming and inviting to him in City Kids that he started to lower his defenses, and he could kind of start coming out of his shell and prepare him to, when he went to school, he was already feeling like, okay, when I'm in these kinds of environments, I can be myself. He'd been in preschools before when we were back in Ohio, at a church. He went to a preschool at a church, but he wouldn't say 2 words. And in the 30 days before he started school, he was probably up to saying 5 or 6 words. And that's prayer. That's the comfort level that he had with city kids and the city church. I'm sure everyone back there was praying for him, because we talked to Katie and we talked to Sadie Ray about his condition and what was going on with him, and how we were trying to help him and pray for him. And we've got some pray warriors at City Church. These are some praying folks around here. So it has definitely impacted our family inside and outside of City Kids.
You pray about it, and you pray about it, and you pray about it, and you give it up to God, and you do what you think you're supposed to. And we thought it was to put our kids in City Church and with City Kids, and it was a good idea. It was a jump of faith, honestly, because for one, 4 kids is a lot, and for 2, for someone to watch them all without getting angry with them, because kids make mistakes all the time. It was a beautiful experience. They install something in you that lets you believe that when you leave your kid there, they're going to learn to love themselves and Jesus, and that they're safe. And that's huge for me.
If your number one goal is for your children to be closer to God and to be closer to Jesus, City Kids is where they need to be.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know what other places do, because this is the only church we've ever been to in the Valley. We came here, we found our home, we stayed here. So if that family's here and they think that they may want to make this their home, or even if they're just testing us out for the day, just have that faith. Like she said, take that leap of faith, and I promise your kids will come home with some great stories to tell.